Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to part 2 of this animation tutorial. In the part 2 I will show you guys how to animate this model like this in Adobe After Effects. If you guys just watching only this part 2 of this two-part tutorial, I strongly recommend you guys watch the part 1 of this tutorial where I show you guys how to draw this model in Adobe Illustrator and also how to layer separate them by proper naming so that you won't have any issues in After Effects. Let's start our tutorial in After Effects. Before I go further, let's look into our sponsorship message, then we will continue our tutorial. Today's video is brought to you by InvatoVideoHive.net. In VideoHive.net, you guys can download very high quality After Effects and Premiere templates for your projects. All these templates are very high quality production standard. You can use these templates for your title animation, motion graphics, special effects, or any part of your video. For an example, see this overlay element in here.
3D Earth Connections, the first and unique After Effects template and script to create connection lines between different locations on a realistic 3D world model. No pre-rendered elements.
So check this out, guys. I have put a link under the description below. Okay guys, so let's import the Illustrator file into Adobe After Effects. You can go to File, Import, or you just can double click on the project window in here and go to Import and select File and select your file and make sure you are importing this file as a composition. Alright, so select composition and you can also say create composition and import. Design is imported into After Effects. So let's double click the composition and you can see all the layers in Illustrators are coming here nicely. Okay, so before I start, what I'm going to do for this animation is I'm going to loop this animation. So as I was saying in my earlier tutorial, to make a loop you need to have the first and the last frame same so that you won't have any break in the loop. But for this animation it's going to be different. I'm going to break down this animation of the house into three. The first part they will come from bottom, and the second part is the ideal stage where the animation won't do anything, and the third part will be reverse of the first part, which is all these parts will be go below. What I'm only going to do now is I'm going to animate the first part, and the second part obviously just going to place the model there, and the third part, the last part, I'm going to reverse the same animation I created in the beginning and going to put it into timeline. So we are going to focus on the first portion of this animation, so we don't need to worry about looping now. But in the idle stage you see nothing on the screen, so all the things will be animate into the screen. All right, so let's see our timeline. Our timeline looks like we have like 1 second, and it's 1 second, or let's make it 2 seconds, which is it's one, and let's make it 1.5 seconds. Okay, and say okay, then bring the timeline and make sure all our timelines are covering the entire portion. Just select here and shift and select here. It will select all the layers. Now bring it until the end. First thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to animate the flow, because that is the first animation you see on the screen. So I will keep only the flow. All the other layers I'm gonna hide. All right guys, okay, so let's select the flow. If you guys find these things distracting you from this After Effects timeline, what you can do, you can select all these things in here and select this one, the shy, which will hide the shy layer, which you have to hide from here. So we will only see these two layers. So we can go back just by clicking this one if you want to, wherever you want to work with. So I will hide them, and this feature is good when you have so much layers in your After Effects, and sometimes it will be confusing for you guys. So whatever the layer you are working with, you can make it active. All the other layers you can hide it from here like this. All right, so let's open up the flow area in here, and the flow area and the transform. Okay, this thing is going to animate from 0 until 100% width from the center. So we are going to obviously going to edit that with the scale, but as you guys can see, if I change anything to the scale, it will also affect the height of this rectangle also. We don't want that, so we go back, Control Z, and it's because this link is connected. When the link is connected, when you change anything in here, both of things will be changing. So I'm going to unlink this one. Now if you edit, you can see you can individually change. So I will go back. What I'm going to do is, when it's on the 0, it's going to be uh, 0 width, and when it reached the last frame, it's going to be 100. All right, so let's animate and see. Okay. All right, guys, it's look fine. Okay, so if you remember in my previous video, I show you guys this animation is looking good, but it have that linear effect because of the graph. So what I'm going to do is, I will select these, and if you see the graph, it's just a straight line. So to change that, I will select both of them again, right click, go to keyframe assistant, and going to go do easy ease. Now if you go and see the graph, you have this nice smooth graph in here. Now if you animate and see, it's starting slowly, ending slowly. So what I want to do is, I want to start for this animation, I want to start it very fast, then it will go gradually. The other parts of this animation are based on this movement. That's why I want to make it faster first, then it will gradually slow down. To do that, it's very easy. Just select this end of this base here corner and bring it like this, almost like this. As you guys can see, immediately it will go very fast, then it will slowly come in. So let's play the animation and see. You see what I'm talking about? It will be faster at first, then when it reaching to the end, it will be slower. We can even bring this to the end here, and it will nicely reaching slowly to the end. Okay, all right guys, so let's go back to normal timeline. Now we unhide the other layer. So now what I'm going to do is, when this one is reaching, let's say 20 frames, maybe this can be a little bit more faster. Let's go back again and go to the time frame in here and make it a little bit more. Like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, so when it reaching, I go back to the timeline. When it reaching 20 frames, all other parts will, especially the center part of the building, will be coming in. So the center building is this one and this one. So what I'm going to do is, I will select both. When it reach 20 frames, 25 frames, it will be in this position. So I will go to the position, I just click P and select both of them, make a keyframe. So when it on the 0, I will bring them to below like this. So let's animate and see. Okay, just nice. So when it reaching here, see, when it reaching here, you can see it's already there. Okay, maybe we bring it a little bit here, so we will have some, yeah, so like this. All right guys, and one thing I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring the flow on top of these two. Maybe I'll bring the flow as the first layer. Okay, so we won't have any overlapping issues. All right guys, so this look fine now. And again, we select both of these keyframes and make sure to make them easy. So I click F9. Now you guys can play and see how it's working. All right, but if you guys see, this is not the effect we wanted. Even with the easy ease part, you see it's not what we actually wanted. It's just coming and just staying there. We don't want like that. We want to animate the bounce effect, which you guys see on the animation. To do the bounce effect, it's really easy, guys. So just go back here, select both of them, and just come back to maybe in here. And now what you need to do is you need to bring the precision a little bit more higher than here. So from when it reaches to this scale, I will bring the precision like this. Okay. Now if you animate and see, you have that nice bounce effect. All right. Okay. So this is the bounce effect we are trying to achieve. Okay. And one more thing what I'm going to do now is these two don't need to be animated at the same time. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this one like 5 frames later. So now if you animate and see, each of them will be animate on its own. Alright guys, there is a mistake in here. We can correct that in Adobe Illustrator. Don't worry about it now. But I think we need to make this one delay, not this one. So we have that nice bounce effect. So I will bring this one again here. And I will bring this bottom one, the big one, maybe 5 frame delay. So now if you play and see, yeah, so I think this is better. Alright guys, okay, so we are going to repeat the same for the roof also. So to where is the roof? I think, yeah, this one. So this one again, when we reach, we will stick to this one in here. Later we can edit the precision by moving the keyframes. All right. Okay, so I'm going to select the roof, and again I'm going to press the P, which will open up the precision. And in this position, this one is okay. And when it reach here, I will bring it like this in here. And when it reach here, it will be like this. So we will have that nice bounce effect like this. Yeah, this is good. Then again I will select all these keyframes and press F9, and we will have this keyframes easy ease effect. And again this one also I'm going to bring in little bit like this. So now we play and see. Yeah, so but I want the roof one to be the last one to settle in, so I will bring another 5 more frames like this. Okay, so now play and see. We don't have that bounce effect for some reason. Maybe we will, when it reach to this scale, when it reach here, let's make it even more higher scale like this. Now if we play and see, yeah, I think this is fine. All right, we have that nice bounce effect in here now. Okay guys, so our center part is done. So what we can do now is we stop this animation, select all of these, and we close this transformer effect. Now we bring down all of them active. Since this part is done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hide this, and I'm going to click on this one. So we will go back to the center part later. I will keep the door window, but let's start animating the door first. Okay, door got 2 sections, door and the roof, door roof. And again it's the same thing. Let's start from the door, and when it's reaching here, it's all settling. So I select the door, go to the precision and put a keyframe, and in the 0 it will go like this. Okay, so I will do the same for the roof part of the door also. P, select the keyframe, go to the 0, and this time we bring it down. I think this time we bring it down a little bit more further than the, you can select this one, control minus, you will see where they are. So I want to bring this one little bit more further than the door. so it will look like it will come faster than the door. And again I will select all of them and F9, make easy ease effect. Then I will go here when it will reach five frame earlier. And now I will select the door first and make little bit more higher like this. And I will make this door, the roof part of the door, shelter part, I will bring it little bit more higher like this. Now you animate and see we have nice this effect, nice bounce effect there. And again what I will do is I'll make sure the roof comes later than the door and select all of them like this and bring it little bit more further. Now if you animate, yeah, so this is what I want. We have that time delay for each object. Alright guys, so let's make it 100%. And our door animation is done also. So I will close this and again I will hide them so that you won't have any confusion. Okay, now I'm going to animate the left wing, the left part of the building. So I will make visible of those two layers, left building, this one, and left roof, and this one is reference here. Okay, so but for this one I want to make sure this the bottom part, the main flow area reach until here, maybe here, yeah, something like this, here, in here. So when it reach this position, I will make sure these two, no, maybe like 10 more frames in here. So I will go to both of these again. I will press P per position and make sure we have this keyframe settled in here. And when it reach here, we will have both of them like this in here. And also I will click on the roof and bring it even more further down and select all of them, press F9, you know the drill. And now we play and see. Oops, we play and see. Okay, it's coming in nicely. I think we need to bring even more further down, so I will press Control minus and bring this one like this and this one even more further. And when it reach here, so what I want to do now is I want to make sure this the left wing is already here when this flow area is closing to this scale. So I will select all of these and not this way. So I will select both of these and bring it in like this. Yeah, I think this is fine. So let's play and see. Yeah, okay. All right, so this is perfectly all right. And the same thing, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have that bounce effect. So when we reach here, I want to make sure this one is in this position here, far away, and this one also reach to this position here. Maybe this one we bring it even more higher, maybe like this. Yeah, this looks fine. So now if we animate and see, okay, so all good. And if you know what we need to do now is we have to bring this 5 frame here, so we will have that nice time delay. Okay, maybe we select all of them and bring it 5 frame in so that all animation will settle in at the same time. Alright guys, yes, this look really cool. So I think 80% of our animation is done. Now what we need to do is so I'm going to select these two layers and I'm going to right click, and now I'm going to make a pre-composition. So pre-composition means it will create a new composition, putting these two layers into that composition, and you can treat this as a composition with this animation, and make sure the duration of the composition is same as this one, and say okay. So we have created a pre-composition. If you guys play and see, there is no different at all. It just created a composition. Okay, right. So we select this composition, and when once you create the composition, it will also create that one in here. So we can rename this one as sites. Okay, guys. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this composition again into this timeline, which will have two copies, right? And I will select this one. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, there are two layers in here now. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make this as a mirror of this layer. To make a mirror, it's really easy, guys. Go to scale and make sure this part is not selected. Take out in the x-axis in front of the 100, just put a minus and enter, which will make a mirror here. So now if you guys play and see, we have this nice effect. Alright guys, and also what I will do is I will have a little bit more time delay in here, maybe like this. Then we have that nice organic look to it. Okay, so now we play and see. Yes, so you can see these are not appearing at the same time, and maybe we bring it a little bit more further. Now if you play and see, yes, so we have that nice time delay for that object. So since these are done, I will hide this also, and now we have to animate the steps. And after the step we are done with the building, then we can work on the window. Let's bring the steps to front because it's on top of the floor. All right, steps appear when it reach when the door is almost finishing. So I want the steps to be in here. So when it reaches to this level, the steps should finish its animation. So I will go to the steps and go to the position, make a keyframe, and then I will go in here. I will bring the steps down like this. Okay, so we play and see. Okay, this look all right, and when it reach here, so I will make a keyframe again in here, but when it reach here, I want the steps to be like this, so you have that bounce effect. Now select everything and F9, which will make sure everything is easy. Now if you play and see, all looking good. Maybe we bring the steps a bit in here like this. Now if you play and see, yeah, I think this is better. Now all of our parts are done except the windows, so let's work on the windows. And I will also hide this one, and the flow also I will hide, and all we left is windows. Okay, so let's go to windows. Don't worry too much on the windows for now. Let's go to 45 frames, and select all the window parts. Window got 4 parts, so select all 4 of them and press on P and make keyframes, and again go to the 0 frame and bring all these parts down like this. And when you reach 40th frame, and bring those things higher like this, and now select all of them and make them easy ease. And if you play now and see, so we have that window effect with the bounce. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to give time delays to each object, and which is, so we start from the background. The background will be the first which is the white part of it. So the white one will have remain at the same position. The window bottom, which will be the last one, so I will bring it to the top. Okay, so the window, no, window bottom is not the last one. All right, and the window bottom, I will bring 5 frame here. And the window top, I will bring another 5 frame here, total 10 frames. And the bottom part of the window, I will bring another 5 frame. Now if you animate and see, our window is animating on its own, and for some reason we don't see that window background. The background layer is hidden, that's why. All right, so if you animate now and see, okay, so we have that nice window effect, window animation effect. All right guys, so our window animation is done. Now what I'm going to do is same as what I did for the sides of the building. I'm going to select all of these windows and going to make a pre-composition. So pre-composition, and I'm going to name this one as windows and say okay. Alright guys, we go back to projects. Now if you guys can see, we have this all in one place. And now we bring down the window to top and on the reference layer. Alright, and make it bigger. So we already have window in here. And then now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to this window and bring it in, and I'm going to position exactly according to the reference. And one more here, and we're going to position like this in here, and one more in here. I'm going to position like this in here, and this one also I'm going to position like this in here. So I will select both of them, these two, this one and this one. I go to align and make sure these are aligned nicely, and these three also I'll make sure these are aligned and they have equal space in between. Okay, so now if you animate and see, okay, first I need to hide this reference layer. Now if you animate and see, our windows are all appearing on its own, but we don't want this like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a time delay. So I will make sure I bring all of them 5 frames each. Select 5 frames here, and this one also 5 frames here, and this one also 5 frames here. So now if we animate and see, okay, let's make it 100% first. Okay, let's bring it here. Now if we animate and see, all of them are appearing on its own, but it's look little bit messier. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to arrange nicely. So I will hide these two first side mirrors, and I will bring these 3 windows a little bit here. Oops, I forget to bring this one also. I will select these 3 windows first and bring them. So when the door is coming in, window will comes with the door, so something like this. So when I play and see, and this one I will bring like this. Let's on and see. Okay, this look okay, but the windows look a little bit more messier, so we can adjust that. Let's go to windows composition, and as you guys can see, this is because of there's too much gap in here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go here and go to the precision, and I will bring this one little bit like this. So now if we animate here and see, okay, so not too much bounce. And also I will do the same for this one also. Precision in here. I go here and I bring down only a bit. Also this one also. P. I go here, bring down like this. Not too much animation, guys. So too much animation will be, and when it reach here also, I make sure this one is, when I reach here also, not too much, it will stick to same level of precision like this. Right, if we animate now and see, all right guys, so this look better. So if we go to building model now and let's play and see how it's look. Okay, all right guys, so this look fine now. Okay guys, this is good enough for now, so let's move on to other parts of the animation. Before that, I want to delete these two layers. We don't need these two layers. And let's go to, we had made a mistake early on because we should have copied this composition as a new composition, which I forget to do. Never mind. I'm just gonna do a simple new composition in here for now, and this one will be the full animation, and it's going to be have the same setting as earlier, but this one is probably, I just put 5 for now. Later on we can edit. All right, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the animation we just did here, and you guys can see all of them animating nicely. And also I will open up these layers here. I will select the background and I will bring the background here. We can also create a background in After Effects. I will show you guys in a while how to do it. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, okay, this animation is fine, but we don't need to see this part in here. We only want to see the, okay, I'll bring it down a bit. We only want to see this part on top of this layer. So what I will do is when it reaches to the full size in here, oops, I need to select this one. So I'm going to draw a mask, and the mask will cover the, you can zoom in to 200% and see. I can bring in space here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the mask until here, and now if you animate and see, I'll make it 100% in here. If you guys animate and see, we have all the animations like this, and we can adjust the mask to cover the entire on until here, because we don't want to see the bottom parts. And also we double click in here, we will make sure the steps are the unhide everything, and I will bring the steps and the flow area to the top, so this, the whatever the animation going behind will not come in front. So if you animate and see, all of them are appearing behind. So we go back to the full animation layer in here, and you guys can see all of them appearing nicely. Okay, this look cool. Now the next step is I'm going to do the end of this animation, which is the reverse of this animation, which is really easy. Just select this layer and Control C and Control V and bring it in here, and right click and go to time and make a time reverse layer. Just click on it. Now if you guys play and see, we have the same animation in the reverse order. Alright guys, looks cool, right? Okay, now what I want to do is I want to do the center portion of this animation, which is the ideal stage. That one also you can do it very easily. Just bring this a bit in here, and when all the animation is done, go to the last frame of this animation when where everything is settled in, and make sure you are in a bigger scale. And now what you're going to do is shift control D, which will split this frame into two. Shift control D and select this portion and right click and go to time again and freeze layer. Now you guys can see there is a timeline appearing. Now you can drag this wherever you want, maybe until here, and now bring back this layer in here. Now if you guys animate and see, we have this animation stop and it's going back. You can bring it to maybe until 50 frames, and you can still bring this one until here. And if you now play and see animation happening, stay, then everything is going down. Okay guys, so I will make sure the timeline is set up to same as this workable area time settings, and which is 3.3 and 50 yeah, 50, which is 350. Okay, so our entire timeline is set to the timeline of the artboard. Now if you play and see, its animation is appearing and disappearing, appearing and disappearing, and there is no time delay disappearing. So you guys can make this as a loop animation. So there you go guys, this is how you make this kind of animation. You can work more on this window and make this one even more nicer. And I hope you learned something new from today's tutorial, and thank you for watching, and see you guys in the next tutorial.